Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to praise ex Deo, not to bury them. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often interred with their bones. So let it be with Nero. What's up, my fellow headbangers? I'm Courtney, aka The Versatile Virgo, and I run a metal lifestyle blog, theversatilevirgo.com, which focuses on the best things in life: music, fashion, and food. And speaking of which, right now over on theversatilevirgo.com is where you can find my recipes slash guide, because I don't know if it really counts as a technical recipe, for creating an ancient Rome themed fruit and cheese platter. This recipe was inspired by the 13 Years of Nero, which is the latest album release from the death metal band Ex Deo. I've linked both my blog and the recipe in the description below, along with the link for my new merch, which is my This Is Your Brain on Metal tees. They make a great gift for the metalhead in your life or yourself. By the way, I also just want to give a quick shout out to my fellow Shakespeare fans that know which play I was referencing at the beginning of this video. If you know which play that speech is from, leave it in a comment below. Fun fact, my first tattoo is actually part of that monologue. I've been told that as I get older, my musical tastes will start to mellow out a bit. And if you're a metalhead, I'm sure you've probably heard the same thing. But you know what? The older I get, the heavier and more brutal my musical choices have become. Perhaps it's because I'm old and grumpy now, I don't know. So even though I've been regularly jamming to the 13 Years of Nero since it was released in August, I've been finding myself reaching for it even more so now. That also probably has to do with the fact that the vinyl I ordered just recently arrived, so that's definitely a part of it too. So in today's video, I wanted to show you guys the vinyl that I actually picked up and share my thoughts about the album with you. Also, if you're new here, then you should know that I love to spread the word about amazingly heavy music and turn people into metalheads. It's kind of like my life's calling, so make sure to watch this video until the end, because that's when I'll be giving you my top 3 tracks from the 13 Years of Nero. So that way, if I can't get you to listen to the entire thing, at least right away, you can test the waters with those 3 tracks. The 13 Years of Nero depicts the rise and fall of ancient Roman Emperor Nero, who reigned from 54 AD until his death at the age of 30 in 68 AD. The album focuses on the historical events that took place during that time, beginning with Nero's ascent to power at the age of 16 after the death of his stepfather Claudius, and ending with the aftermath of Nero's death. So throughout history, Nero has had a pretty bad reputation for being cruel and, quite frankly, evil. But the 13 Years of Nero tells his story based on more recent scientific discoveries that challenge what we have been led to believe about Emperor Nero. Would I say people have gone from hating him to thinking he's a saint? No. But this album gives us the perspective as someone who was born an artist, forced to be emperor. There's a great article from PBS with 7 things that you may not know about Nero that kind of further explores this point. So I'm going to go ahead and link that in the description below for you guys, so you can see where I found my sources when I was doing my research for this video and learn some cool ancient Roman history. So what Ex Deo does a great job on in this album, and just in general, is setting the scene based on the historical events that we know took place, but they bring them to life and challenge that common perspective a little bit of Nero. For example, according to ancient writers, Nero's mother, Agrippina, was quite ruthless and brutal herself. After all, it was because of her that Nero was able to take over to begin with. So for example, in their song The Head of the Snake, they take you inside Agrippina's twisted mind, and it's almost like you're being directly inserted into Nero's shoes. So that's just one of the things that makes this album so intriguing to begin with, because it does give a perspective for all of these major historical events, including the Great Fire of Rome, where it was rumored rumored that Nero had played the fiddle while Rome burned. Quick side note, there is actually no proof that that happened. The 13 Years of Nero is an epically heavy album. There's so many cinematic moments peppered throughout that make you feel as if you've been instantly transported into ancient Rome during Nero's reign. Exteo really captures the just brutal environment of the time, especially on songs like Imperator, which translates to emperor. And when you're listening to this album, you'll also hear the sounds of ancient instruments like Ira and the harp, which also add to this album's authentic feel. Even if you're someone that's not necessarily interested in the history of ancient Rome, but you are into heavy music, Exteo's The 13 Years of Nero is a must listen. I love music that also serves as a way to kind of expand your mind, and that's exactly what you're getting with this album. Plus, when I say it's epically heavy, I mean it is prepare for war style, brutally heavy. So if you're into death metal, you will like this album. Okay, so this is the 13 Years of Nero vinyl I picked up. And of course, I couldn't pass up the copy that was signed by the band's frontman, Mauricio Iacono, who you may also recognize from the band Cataclysm. So I just want to give you guys a good shot of the cover art, if you can see it. So this cover art was created by Seth Ciro Anton, who also created the cover art for Exteo's 2012 release Caligula. And you can see the track listing here on the back, and the actual vinyl itself, I know when I showed you guys the signature, it kind of looked like maybe it was a picture disc, but this is actually not a picture disc. It's just the black vinyl with the picture in the middle, I guess. And of course you get your lyrics and everything in here. So we're gonna flip over to the back, because out of all of these songs, I'm going to tell you what my top 3 tracks are from the 13 Years of Nero. Before we get into my top 3 tracks from this record though, I just want to remind you that if you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because I post once a week and I have even more heavy music related videos coming out soon. Also, make sure to check out my guide for creating an ancient Rome themed fruit and cheese platter, which was inspired by Exteo's The 13 Years of Nero. You can find that over on my blog, theversatilevirgo.com, and that's linked in the description below. That's where you can find even more musically inspired recipes, along with new music suggestions where you can vote for your favorite new tracks, interviews, reviews, and so much more. So as I mentioned earlier, I think Exteo's The 13 Years of Nero is an absolute must listen, especially if you're a heavy music fan. So of course, I highly recommend checking out the entire album. But if I can only get you to listen to 3 songs first, then please make sure to check out Imperator, What Artist Dies in Me, and The Head of the Snake. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have an awesome week or weekend, depending on whenever I post this. Actually, you know what? Just have a great day, and most importantly, stay heavy.